Hey folks, this is Praveen and today we're gonna see the problem of longest palindromic substring. So what the problem statement says, there is a string provided and we have to find the longest palindromic string. What does that mean? So we'll have to check all the subset, and in that we'll have to see the highest or the longest substring out of that, which is palindromic. So in this example 1 we can see BABAD. If we'll see BAB is a palindromic string with size 3, and then we have ABA. So the answer is BAB or ABA. What anything could be the answer because this length is 3. Now we'll see the second example. Here we can see the string is cbbd. Here the output is bb. So the reason is, if you see the b and b, there's only one substring which is palindromic. And if we have a string with a single character, we can return it. And if we don't have any substring with the which is satisfying the palindromic substring, we can return a single substring. So that will also consider as a palindromic string. So let us try to understand how we're gonna solve this. So I'll take this as an example. So I'll use two pointer, let's say left and right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna iterate over this string. Whatever is provided, we'll move from left to right. First we'll go over the first string and we'll increment the right pointer by one position, and left pointer will decrement by one position, and we'll check if the values are equal. Then we'll add it as an the substring, palindromic substring. If not, then we'll move forward to the next string, next index, and we'll keep doing this till the time we'll add to reach to the end of the string. So we'll try to run it for this. So for the first position, left and right would be on the first position, and we'll be having left and right equal, that is our b value. Then since we can't go on the left hand side, we'll increment our, will again reassign our left and right to the a. Now left will decrement by 1, r will increment by 1, and yeah, b is equal to b. Then in that case we'll again increment r, but okay, l we can't do, so we'll go to the next position, which is b. Here also we'll reduce our l by one position and increment our r by one position. Values are same. Then again we'll increment r by one position and decrement l by one position. So b is not equal to d, so our substring would be ABA. So that's how we can solve it. So there is another case in this. So this is what we are seeing is the one scenario. Second one is this, where we can get the palindromic stream in the even count, which is like 2, 4, something like that. Here we are getting the palindromic string in the odd count, which is like 1, 3, 5, like that. So for this we'll have to handle it in two cases. So for odd cases, we'll start R and L and R with the same position. For the even scenario, what we'll do, we'll start R, we'll take L, and R would be one position next to the L, and then we'll start comparing it. So in first scenario we'll compare C with B, then in the second scenario we'll compare L with R, which is B with B. So like that we'll do. So I think this is the approach. Let's try to write the code for this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna iterate over our string. So int I equal to 0 is less than s dot length, and I plus plus to I plus plus. Now okay, with each character we'll have to expand it from the center. We'll reduce left by 1 and increment right by one position. So for that I'll write a helper function let's call it public will return the string from here, whatever the substring will get, which is palindromic. And let's write we call it return palindrome. Okay, now here we're gonna pass our string. We'll pass our left index, we'll pass our right index, and I think that should be fine. We'll see. Let's try to write the code and we'll see that if we need anything needed, we'll add. So not if, we'll run this loop, because what we are doing, we are keep incrementing left, decrementing left, and keep incrementing right, and checking with the values. So till when we're gonna do, till the time left is greater than and equal to 0, and right is less than s dot length. Okay, so we are checking the boundary condition, and if s dot char at left equal to s dot char at right. Okay. So we are checking, first we are inside the boundary, like we are not crossing the length of the string, the boundary condition we are checking, and second thing we are checking if the value at the left pointer and the value at the right pointer are same. Then what we can do, we can actually create a value here, a variable here. Let's call it result, initialize it with empty string. Now result equal to and s dot substring left and right plus 1. So we are getting the substring between the left and right. Now we'll decrement left by 1, increment right by 1, right? And once we are out of this loop, we'll be having our result with the longest palindromic between this left and right. Okay, now let's call this from here. Now here also, as I explained, we'll be having two type of palindromic string. One is odd, right? Second one is type of even. So we'll create the variable for that, and we'll be having one return, like the final answer, that is our palindrome. Let's call it. Initialize this also here, and I'll create one temp to store the temp results from the return palindrome function. Alright, so first we'll call odd. So as I explained, we'll call it the function which we created, and s will pass as an input to the function, then I, and left also I, and the right also I. So we are passing the same value for the left and the right. Then for even, what we have to do, we'll do the same, we'll call the same thing, but for the right we'll pass one value next to the left. Right, now we'll check whether the right, whether the even or the odd, whichever substring we are getting, palindromic substring, whichever is greater, we'll consider that as an answer on that step. So temp equal to, if odd dot length, let's say if it is greater than the even dot length, that means the odd substring is the greater one. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna return the odd in that case. Okay, it should be question mark, ternary operator, otherwise the even. Right, so in that way, in this temp variable we'll get the the longest of the between the odd and the even. Now we'll have this final result stored in this. So what we're gonna do, we'll do the same check here. Palindrome equal to, we'll check if palindrome dot length, if it is greater than the temp, whatever the current substring we are getting with its length, then we consider palindrome itself as an answer. Otherwise, the temp will be our new palindrome, longest string, palindromic string. And in that way, like when we are done with this entire loop, at the last we'll be having our longest palindromic string in this variable. So if I have written it correctly, this code should work. Let me try to submit it. Yeah, it is working. So that's how we can solve the longest palindromic problem. Please do like and subscribe to the channel if this video is helpful. Thank you.